Guys, a lot of people have been asking me what happened with the Deliveroo fee talks. So obviously I've been under NDA, so I've been unable to talk about it. Yesterday I spoke a bit about the Uber Eats new rates, but I can now tell you what the new rates are going to be on Deliveroo. They're not as good as we were hoping, definitely not, but we're hoping they're going to bump up a little bit more when we talk about expenses, which Deliveroo will only talk about in Q3, because they say that's the anniversary of when they were first brought in, which is frustrating, don't get me wrong. But before we delve into that, what I really want to talk to you about first is one win that we did get, which I think is actually really important to talk about, and that is that the company have agreed to run a pilot and look at bringing in a payment or a fee for restaurant waiting time. Now, this is something that we've been pushing with them a lot. And after I announced yesterday about what's going on with the Uber Pay, a lot of people said, well, what about, when I'm waiting? Well, this is something that we have managed to get Deliveroo to move on. So starting this year, they are going to start rolling out, firstly in their Additions kitchens, and then at the beginning of next year, restaurant waiting time. So you will start to be paid for a proportion of the time that you wait. Now, I don't have fine details on this, but they are happy for us to come forward and say that this is something that we have managed to get them to look into. And now they've looked into it and they've agreed that they are going to start doing it. So yes, a good win for us, I believe. Restaurant waiting time is coming. The way that they're calculating it and stuff, I don't know, but that's why the air tags have been brought in. They want to make it more reliable to know couriers are definitely where they say they are. So that's why you've been asked sometimes to tap the Deliveroo Square, the NFC air tag. But yes, restaurant waiting time is coming to Deliveroo, and it's something that we guys at the GMB have managed to negotiate into the contract for you. So I'm really happy to be able to announce that first. So now we've got the better news out of the way, it's time to talk about the pay floor rates. Obviously, as I said, these have not moved as we were hoping. I'm not going to beat about the bush with that. So basically, they are pushing up the minimum pay floor rate by 30 pence to make it 12.30 plus expenses or plus costs. That means that now on a bicycle, your minimum pay floor has gone from £12 and 10p to 12.40. On e-bikes, 12.19 up to 12.49. On scooters, 13.52 up to 13.82, and car users 16.27 up to 16.57. Now, obviously, this is not what we were hoping for. It's not as good as what we were hoping for. However, in Q3, we are going to review expenses again as well. So we're hoping for some movement around expenses. But what does this mean in real terms? So let's break it down like I did with Uber and make it into a 20-minute journey. So if, for example, you had a 20-minute journey, because it's only from the time you accept it to the time you drop it off. So if you had a job which they estimate to be 20 minutes, for a bicycle, that would be £4 and 13p that they should be offering. For an e-bike, you're looking at £4 and 16p. For a scooter, it's £4 and 61p, and for a car, £5.52. How does that compare to the new Uber rates? So let's have a look at that. So in theory, if the companies are estimating it correctly, the same jobs, the same 20-minute job on Uber Eats for all bicycles is £4.10, which is against obviously £4.13 or £4.16 if you're on an e-bike versus bike. And then on a scooter, Uber are actually looking to pay a little bit better, so they're £4.70, whereas Deliveroo is £4.61. And then in a car, Deliveroo is paying a little bit more, so it's £5.52 versus £5.30. But as I said, it all comes down to their estimates, so it's not based on real time. But yeah, that's where we are. So there was a few other things that were raised as well, including things like the deactivation process and stuff like that, which I'll pop up here so you can read in your own leisure. But there will also be a survey going on the GMB website, which will be sent automatically to all GMB members. If you're not a member, I would say it'd be really good if you signed up. We want to get as many members on board, so we have as much power to go to these companies with. The more amount of members we have, the easier it is to get things done with these companies, because essentially the more people we have behind us. So there's going to be a survey on the notice board. I shall, when it goes live, I'll put the link in the comment section, so please feel free to go in and do the survey. It will be based around what the new pay rates are like, what your opinion of being paid for restaurant waiting time is, etc, etc. So yeah, it'd be really good to get as much as many of you guys opinions as possible, but I hope you know, the new rates aren't too much of a disappointment. They are a bit of a disappointment for me, but what we are looking to do is to try and hold them accountable, and you know, make sure that compliance is as good as possible, and bringing in restaurant waiting time is the one way that we have managed to do that, because essentially what that will do in the future is underpin the pay floor and make sure that it is paying correctly more of the time. Until I speak to you next time, guys, I hope you have a really good day. I hope you guys are having a fruitful and a well-paid time. I know Eid was great for me. But yeah, I shall catch you in the next video. Catch you soon. Cheers. Thank you. Goodbye.